Good morning, everyone. It's Monday morning. This is Deborah's Daily Healthy, and I'm Deborah, and we're here in the kitchen. It's a chilly morning, and I'm making some protein power bites. I started these last night, and this is a new one. And if you've been following me, you know I talk a lot about protein, and I know there's concerns about getting too much protein in the diet, and that's why I will always keep reminding you, it's not just about the calories, but also your macros when you're on a program, following your nutrition. But one of the reasons I love to make treats and protein treats is because too often we feel we need that oomph, that little extra go, and we grab something like a candy bar or a snack chip. Maybe we're in the office and it's around 3 o'clock, maybe a little 1 o'clock, maybe that mid-morning, because we go, I'm just not a breakfast person. I can't eat breakfast. You know, a lot of times we train ourselves to do things. We train ourselves to go on less sleep. We train ourselves not to eat breakfast. We train ourselves. We got our body in a habit. Our mind will tell us things when our body will actually need things or is capable of things, but we talk ourselves in or out of things. So back to protein. The reason I started doing things like protein pancakes, protein power bites, it's not that there's this huge, immense amount of protein and I'm getting this way over my necessary protein. Now, I know I get a lot of protein, and I know because when I do a lot of, real serious training, I need to really focus on my nutrition, because I work against myself if I'm not getting the right nutrition and I'm using it up in my workouts. I'm actually burning more of it off and not building up what I need. So something like a protein power bite, this one is really yummy, by the way. It is mocking like a peanut butter cup. It's protein powder, and it also has a little chocolate chips in it. And these are a dairy-free, sugar-free chocolate chip. And then I'm coating it in a sugar-free chocolate. And put my gloves on here. I have to really work hard to dip well, and it's a trick. I really congratulate those who've gotten this down. It takes a little while for me, but I've gotten pretty good at it, and I've learned the trick is freezing them. And I'm going to come back to the protein, but I love being able to give these to people at the holidays. This is part of Deborah's Daily Delicious, and I have a variety of protein power bites that have become very, very popular. But if you could give yourself, your kids, your significant other, your friends, instead of candy, something that would satiate that candy need or that sweets need, because I make cookies, I make coffee cakes, cinnamon rolls, all kinds of things, instead of a thing that's going to give them that quick high and then that crash, something that doesn't have those addictive things in it, like those processed sugars, something that is going to taste so good that they're going to think they're having a truffle. Why not do it? Less calories? More nutrition? Why not do that? That's why I created these. So here I have a bunch that are already made. Made these last night. And then I'm dipping some more, and this is what they look like. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily have to dip them, I guess, if you didn't want to. But, and then here they are, fresh out dips. And so I also have one that's a lemon poppy seed, and I have a pumpkin chocolate chip. I also have that one coated in chocolate as well. I have a chocolate covered strawberry. I have a chocolate chip cookie dough. I have one that's called the gorilla instead of the chunky monkey. It's called the chunky monkey, right? And I have, what else do I have? I'm trying to think. Oh, I have a banana bread. So there's quite a few different flavors that I make, and I found that people really enjoy these, and I love being able to give them for Valentine's and heart-shaped box or whatever, Christmas in that candy box, and surprise people with them. That chocolate chip cookie that's a protein cookie, isn't it great to have something that's maybe 55 calories and satiates that need for a chocolate chip cookie, but you could grab that on the go, or at that mid-morning need, or pre or post workout on the go, and have something that is better for you and isn't going to actually increase that craving for more sweets. So when I hear people say, well, too much protein isn't good for you, I want to remind them, too much sugar isn't good for you. And you're not getting, also with this, there's no dairy in these. There's no gluten. So if you're have an issue with gluten, or you're just trying to stay away from that, you're focusing on maybe a clean eating program, this is a really great thing to make. So, you know, think about those things when you're looking for those protein snacks. And I really do look to avoid things like soy as well when I'm looking for my protein powders. Now, I'm using a plant-based protein powder with this. And when I shop for my different flavors, I look for something without soy. I have an issue with processing whey and in my system, and so I avoid whey products. But if I have clients that need that whey, I do have protein powders that I work with that have whey in them. So there are different options out there, but do read your packages carefully, because you might be very surprised to find the sugars that can be added to those and what can be added to them when certain flavors are there made by certain companies. So do check carefully. But this is a really great protein snack. Now, when you're dipping these, I'm almost done. If you find your chocolate, and there are really great, I'm going to mention great sugar-free, dairy-free chocolates out there. So if you have someone in your family that has issues with dairy, trust me, there are great ones out there. You can order those through many online suppliers, and you can, I find more and more you can go into grocery stores and get them. I've gotten them at Target, I've gotten them at Winco before, and I'm trying to think. I even found them at Walmart one time. I think I might have. It varies, I think probably region to region. But I have found that if you use gloves when you're dipping, if you need to use your fingers, that it's easier to set them down. Something about, and it's the toothpicks sometimes kind of tear them apart, so I'm a little careful with even with the toothpicks. But you might have a trick that you want to put in the comments on dipping. And I found the cold and dry is really important. If you've ever made chocolate covered strawberries, you know what I'm talking about. So these are really great. And then I stick these in the freezer, get them nice and cold and hard, and then I usually color code my different cups, because I usually have so many going that I like to color code them so I can look at them real quick and know what each one is in case somebody purchases an assortment tray, and then they're color coded for them as well. Now, but if you do find your chocolate getting hard, I know some people say, oh, I put a little water in, or I put a little milk. Well, milk, it's going to make it so it has dairy in it. I find just a tiny bit of coconut oil, and you reheat it a little bit of melted coconut oil will do the trick. But be careful with that. You don't want a ton in there. And remember, if you are tracking your nutrition, like I do, I always want to allow for that. But it's a tiny bit, and it's not going to make a huge difference. But that little bit of melted coconut oil will smooth up your chocolate. And typically, if you have these all lined up like little soldiers like I do, and you are measuring things out, you'll know that a little cup like I'm using, you'll figure it out how many it does, and you can move pretty fast. You won't waste a lot of chocolate, and you'll get them done pretty quick. And I just recommend melting a small amount of chocolate, using it up, melting a little bit more, and just keep it going, and you have some really great protein power bites to share and or to eat at home and enjoy. So keep that in mind, that you know, and we're really fortunate in Western society. We typically get a lot of protein. You want to also take a look at your healthy fiber that you're getting. And I noticed that more and more manufacturers, especially, I noticed this because I use my FitnessPal, they now calculate your net carbs for you as well when you're entering your food. So that's a really nice thing if you're not familiar with using a app for tracking your nutrition. You might want to check that out. But that's very helpful. So there, I've got my last one done. Okay, so these are really yummy. Now, then the next thing we do is we just take that wax paper, set it on that tray, and let those get cold. The nice thing too, if you use a little dish that has a lid, if you do have extra chocolate, just put it in the fridge or freezer. You have it for the next time, and you're good to go. So these are just super good. Okay. All right. So there's a new protein power bite from Deborah's Daily Delicious Food line, and I thank you for your time. I hope you have a really great Monday. Now remember, this week you're going to get faced with a lot of things, and I want to remind everybody of what I remind myself of. Halt. Never when you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Okay? If you take care of yourself, it's so much easier to take care of other people. A lot of craziness going on out in the world. A lot of sickness. Take care of you. I wish you and yours and those you love a really great week. Thank you as always for a little bit of your time. Your time is precious. My name is Deborah. This is Deborah's Daily Healthy. Have a great day.